Hello everyone, Carlos Flores, back on basics. So, before we begin this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. If you have a topic, if you have a suggestion, if you have a comment, or if you want me to give you my take on any topic, put it in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. If you want to connect with me on other social media outlets, on Facebook, you can connect with me, Carlos Flores Jr. You can just type that in. Remember, Flores is F-L-O-R-E-S. On Instagram, on X, and on Threads, you can type in at Back on Basics. And on WhatsApp, you can type in at Back on Basics 9985. So, let's talk about the psychology of being human. Simple, right? But it's not. Because you know what? We as human beings, we're very complex creatures. We tend to overanalyze, we tend to over-explain, we tend to overthink, we tend to do a lot of over and over situations. And so a lot of the times what we need to do is just go back on basics. Again, right? The name of this YouTube channel, Back to Basics, Back on Basics. It's not just a motto. For me, it's just my mantra. It's one of those things that whenever I'm stressed, whenever I may be anxious, or whenever I feel like I'm not focused, I always go back on basics. And what is basics? Well, this is what we're going to talk about, because psychology talks about the basic tenets that a human being actually has whenever it's doing day-to-day activities. Remember, right? I always say it. There's a roadmap that I've been trying to ingrain in your mind. So be a positive person, right? And when you do that, then that creates motivation. Once you're motivated, then that actually creates visualization of your goals, because now you start saying, I'm being positive, I'm motivated, I'm going to start working on my goals. And then you start visualizing, what if I do this? What if I do that? Which roadmap should I take in order for me to get to my goals and be successful? After you get to that goal, guess what? You'll be unstoppable. And what happens when you're unstoppable? Remember, this is like the 4th time I've said it, right? You're going to unleash your beast and move forward. Success sounds easy, but it's not. It's complicated. It takes different integral things that connect with you. It takes your support system to help you get to where you want to get to. It takes you having the ability to correct and correct and correct. It takes, honestly, it takes interacting with people that at times may not be the best people to interact with. It takes being helpful. It takes being mindful, so that way you can be here and the now. Being in the here and now is very important as a human being, because that means you're not attached to the past and you're not attached to the future. And so again, right, in the here and now. And so here are some of the key aspects of being human being. So the first one, right, is being self-aware. A lot of us are not self-aware. Believe me, I'm still working on it. Remember, I'm telling you, I've done over close to 500 videos, long videos now. And the more topics I deal with, the more I think that I need to do more work on myself. There's so many things. The nice thing about this is that, you know, making these videos, making the shorts, making the micro shorts on Instagram, and then now making the reels on Facebook just helps me process things. Again, it creates that self-awareness, right? Because remember what I've said before, right? Repetition gives you clues. If you are utilizing the repetitive theory, repetition gives you clues as to how to adapt to where you want to get to. It's not hard, but it takes work. Remember, another thing that I say, right? The saying that the late Kobe Bryant said, right? All you have to do is put into work, and you put into work. Believe me, lately I've been putting into work in many different aspects because there's so many things that are making me self-aware, are making me aware of who I am and where I am and the positives that I have and the things that I need to work on. And so again, right, self-awareness is very important as a human being. Emotions and social connections are very important to humans. One of my teachers in my psychology program said, one of the things that we as human beings always seek is understanding, love, and compassion. Why? Because it validates us. It tells us that we're human beings. It reminds us that we're not just robots going day to day, trying to earn a dollar or trying to get things done or trying to get to something that eventually we're going to realize that wasn't to focus on. So again, emotions and social connections are very important. Remember, your support system is a social connection, ladies and gentlemen. Your support system will always be there to help you. I don't communicate with my support system as much, but you know what? Whenever I do, they're right there. They're always texting me. They're always calling me. They're inviting me to go have lunch so that we can catch up. It's amazing, right? It's like as if, we would see each other every day, but we don't. And so, just once in a while, send a communication, right? Once in a while, make sure that they're doing well, that if they need anything, help them out, right? And so social connections are very important for us as human beings because all of our social connections, which our support group, can look at our journey from their perspective and can give us advice and suggestions on how to get to our goals. So again, emotions and social connections are very important. So one of the things that we as human beings have the ability to do is be complex. What is complex? I mean, it's being complicated. And so cognitive complexity and problem solving are very important things that we do as humans. Some of us can be visual. Some of us can be auditory. Some of us can be, right, can be olfactory. Remember I said in other videos that when I'm cooking, it's my nose that leads the way that I cook, the way that I do things. And so it's my olfactory, my nose that helps me not necessarily, not necessarily taste the food using my smell, but it actually activates my brain, and it actually triggers what I think the smell or the taste or how it looks that would be. So again, right? Cognitive complexity is something that we as human beings do. That's the reason why we're human beings. We're so complex. That's the reason why sometimes we get in trouble, because we're too complex and we can't keep it simple. We can't keep it in the here and now. And so problem solving is a great tool that we should be practicing as human beings. But remember, we need to minimize our complexity. It's just my mantra, going back on basics. If we start on basics, we will get to where we want to get to again. So another thing are behavioral patterns. We know when we're sad, most of us. We know when we're tired, when we're getting sick, when we're getting better, when we're motivated. I mean, we should be able to do that because we know ourselves better than anybody else because we know our life experiences. We know what gets us up and what gets us down. We know how to deal with things, sometimes even before they come up. Because again, right, we look at our behavioral patterns. So for me, one of the behavioral patterns that I have is this. I get up in the morning. I do some things around the house, right? Why am I doing that? Remember, I've said it before. I am being active because if I'm being active, my activity that I'm doing, it's either many different things that I can do. It actually balances and focuses my mind. So now my mind is focused. So now I can do something that doesn't need any physical activity. But guess what? Once I start doing something mental, like doing these videos or grading for my psychology classes that I teach or doing something else, now my body's focused, right? Now I have both of them. And now I have mind and body balance. And guess what? If I have both of those, more than likely my emotions are held in check. They're balanced as well. And so again, see the roadmap that I just gave you, right? For me, right? I start with the physical, dishes maybe, or something else, or feed the cats, or take out water, or water the plants. And then that focuses my mind. Then I do something mental. And again, it focuses my body. Now I have mind-body balance. Guess what? Emotional balance follows because now I have balance. And now I'm ready to hit work or do things or focus on things. That's the reason sometimes I'm so super focused on things that I don't really pay attention to my emotions. And that's one thing that we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, because sometimes I pay attention to my emotions way later when it's kind of late to process them. You don't want to wait. You need to talk to people. You need to talk to professionals. You need to talk to your support system. You need to talk to different people. So that way so that way it doesn't have to stay in your head. So again, we're complex, right? We're human beings. We're complex. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to emphasize because we are complex. Sometimes we know how we're going to act or react, but it changes based on who's there, which persons are there, how they're interacting, what situation you're in, what place you're in. And so again, use your complexity to your advantage, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm pretty predictable, but there are some things that do not, believe me. It's something that I'm learning to be is to embrace my unpredictability. To be an unpredictable human, so that way people will guess and people will see and say, wait, what did he come? From what angle did he come from? Or what is he doing? Or what is he thinking? So again, use your complexity as human beings. I mean, it's simple, but it takes practice. So subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. Again, be human, be complex, but at the same time, get to that roadmap so that way you can get to your goals, so you can get to your success. You know, your support system knows, and they can help you course correct. They can help you become the human that you want to be. Back on Basics.